This is my project on the cell organelles, a love triangle between the nucleus, ribosomes, and endoplasmic reticulum inside of a cell. The first organelle to protein synthesis is the nucleus. And here's a picture of the nucleus. Some of the things the nucleus does is it stores genetic makeup of the cells, or as many like to call it, DNA. It coordinates the cell's activities. It also regulates how the cell looks or it's represented from the chromosomes inside of the cell. Now, the process in protein synthesis it helps with is two things. One, the DNA breaks up to RNA, which is released from the nucleus and then taken in by the ribosomes, but I'll talk about that later. And then also the nucleolus, which is like the center of the nucleus, at least in this picture. It's the biggest part of the nucleus. The chromatin inside of it, it helps form the ribosomes. So without the nucleus, you'll be missing two different parts of this love triangle. So the individual function or process of this certain organelle is that, one, it's part of the step to making proteins, because the ribosome's ability to make the proteins is found within the genetic makeup in the RNA, and also it controls where the different cells move. You could say it's kind of like the brain of a cell. Alright, so the next part of this organelle love triangle is the ribosome. So the ribosomes can be found in one of two places, either floating around the cytoplasm, or, as in this case, it would be found on the rough ER. And as I talked about before in the nucleus, the RNA, the ribosomes take in the RNA and also amino acid, and the outcome is proteins. And so the function of the ribosome is that it makes the protein. And the last organelle is the endoplasmic reticulum, specifically the rough ER. And basically the endoplasmic reticulum works directly with the ribosomes. Without the ribosomes, it wouldn't be possible to get the proteins inside of the ER. The endoplasmic reticulum, it won't let in any liquid substance, and that's why the ribosomes are important. The ribosomes are solid or gel-like, and it takes in the proteins from the ribosomes, and with these proteins it sends them off to different places in order to make different protein chains. And so the main process of the endoplasmic reticulum is, one, it makes carrying cells in the way that it makes vesicles, but that's not important for protein synthesis. And then also the transporting of materials, the proteins within this organelle. Here's a diagram of all of the organelles I was talking about. And of course, I'll start with the nucleus, because nucleus is how the protein synthesis begins. And so the nucleus, as talked about before, it releases the RNA, and it's picked up by the ribosomes. And this is very important, because without the ribosomes, the endoplasmic reticulum would not take in the proteins, because they would be in a liquid substance or the cytoplasm instead of the ribosomes, which are solid or gel-like substances. So the individual role is the nucleus. One, it actually creates the ribosomes within the nucleolus, and then 2, it's releasing of RNA. The ribosome takes in the RNA, which has a genetic makeup, and with this genetic makeup and amino acid, it creates a protein depending on what the genetic makeup said it should make. And then the ribosomes go down to the endoplasmic reticulum, and once they're attached to the endoplasmic reticulum, it will release the protein, and then the endoplasmic reticulum will take the proteins necessary for the specific command and will combine or make a protein chain out of these proteins.